Sorry, I have a caller, but I think I need to quickly add this. For those of us who were shocked when Obasanjo commanded the Yoruba Obas. There are some Yoruba Obas who have started withdrawing all of the traditional titles they gave to Obasanjo. Another one just came in now. It is coming from the Igbimo Apakpo Yoruba Lagbaye. And they are asking the, what do you call it? They are asking the Olowu and the rest of them not to recognize Obasanjo as, you know what I mean? Like, it's getting serious now. The guy said he doesn't care. I'll tell you more about that later. I have a caller on the line. Hello there.
Hello, sir, Mr. Mayegun.
Yes, sir.
My name is Dr. Akinyemi Agbede.
Dr.
Thank you,
Agbede.
Sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing super great. Happy Wednesday. God bless you, sir.
Same to you, sir. Same to you.
So, please, you're going to give me some time, a little bit time. So I want to start with number 3. Let me see, number 3. You are, Mr. Mayegun.
You only have just about 3 minutes, so that we can have a lot of other people to join. So if you can manage it between, I'll let you do your thing. Go on, sir.
Yes, I'm very. Don't worry. Yes, now, you said something. Even you are a seer, because you said something that they want to use you, that maybe looking for you. You are absolutely correct, because they wanted to take you as they have taken the. Do you know the then Umaru Diko?
I remember.
Umaru Diko. So that's the way they want to take you from London or everywhere. So you please after this program, please, Mr. Mayegun, very important. See, get in touch with me, please. Very important. That's number 1.
Right.
Yeah. Please, don't neglect that. Now, you made mention of Joe Biden. That
we believe that probably he avoided Tinubu, but he invited him.
Yes. He has to do it. He has to avoid him. He has to, because if Joe Biden wanted to go for his second time bid, he has to. He has to avoid. Yes, because if not, I would like all Nigerians, because this is politics with politics now. All Nigerians to please, on the 27th of September, this coming 27th of September, that's when the Republican presidential candidate will be doing their second debate, and all Nigerians should contact Chris Christie, former Chris Christie of New York, of New Jersey, Ambassador Nikki Haley, former President Mike Pence, businessman Vivek Ramaswamy, Senator Tim Scott, and the Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and ask those people that they should ask this question: that is it proper or allowable for a sitting U.S. president to be talking with an illegitimate president of a third world country? That's the question. Is it proper or allowable for a sitting U.S. president to be talking with an illegitimate president of a third world country? That's the question they should ask. Those people will ask them. So that's the question they should ask them. Is it proper?
Dr. Agbede.
Up to 3 minutes. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I am going to get in touch with a doctor. Now, let's take another one. Hello there.
Hello there, Mayegun. Good evening.
Ma. Good evening.
Hello. This is Stella. Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening.
Well done.
So, Lady Stella, is that right?
Yeah, good evening. Yes, God bless you.
And you too.
Well done for all you have been doing.
Thank you.
My major concern is about Nigerians at home. We in the diaspora, we are doing our best.
Yeah.
We are doing everything possible to make Nigeria work. But those in Nigeria, they are not bothered. They are not concerned. Particularly the youths, the younger ones. They are thinking that manna will fall from heaven. Somebody is coming to come and deliver them, me in the diaspora.
Nobody is coming.
Forgetting that the matter at hand is a serious matter, You see them dancing away their lives, going to parties, not thinking about their future. In your eyes, they are mortgaging their lives.
See?
And all they are concerned about is just dancing around, going to parties. Who else will take the
And they call
country if
it,
not them?
they will say it's cruise as well.
Cruise.
Without having to
What are they
ignore those of
cruising?
them who actually came to fight and they got rigged out as well. But I mean,
Then life will be lost unless we want to deceive ourselves. Life will be lost, but they don't know the severity of what is at hand. That is paining me all the time I listen. You are talking, but their problem is they have deaf ears. As we enter one here, they go to the other, and you see them on the platform. They take everything like joke, joke, joke. This is a serious matter.
let me tell them.
Look at Ukraine. People outside Ukraine, they went back home to fight for their country. You are in the country. In your own eyes, koro, they are taking your life from you.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you could say that will push these people. But like you said, their shege is drawing closer and closer
It's
every
just a
day.
matter of time.
Just a matter of time. And by the time it will hit them, it will be something they won't be able to catch up.
It's just a matter of
They have
time. I mean, like you can pretend, everybody can live in denial, pretend, right? But when the bedu enter
it
body,
won't be
they won't be able to hold it.
katakata will burst beyond repair.
You know?
So please continue to hammer it to them.
I will.
Continue to be strong on them. Don't play with them. And we are backing you up.
God bless
About
you.
David,
Yes, ma'am.
I know David knows what he will do. But my advice is that he should go to a country that is an enemy to Nigeria, so that they will take him willingly and support him. He should not go to any African country. He should run to an European country that is a enemy to Nigeria, and they
Is
will
that
be
Nigeria cannot bully.
willing.
Nigeria can't
They
bully any
cannot bully
country in
them
Europe. No way.
in Europe.
Or in
That
Africa.
is the best. No, it's not about begging Ghana. Ghana will not do anything because they are birds of the same feather. Ghana cannot do anything. They will just hand him over, and that will not happen to him.
Amen.
So please, he should just go quietly. He doesn't even need to publicize anything. Take his time and just leave. He should not wait to get anything from Ghana. Ghana will not give him anything to go to another country. As he fled to Ghana, he should flee out again. So that is my advice
Thank
for
you so
him.
much, ma'am.
And about Kolu, one more thing about Kolu, I think what Dr. Agbede said is very important. People in America, they should do that thing and go that Biden should not speak to an illegitimate president. An illegitimate president walking up around thinking is somebody, is nobody.
No.
And all of us should have a voice.
Yes.
Those in diaspora, in America, in UK, all over the world, on that day we should put up a placard and say he should not speak. If he speak, then it's finished. Thank you. God bless you. Well done.
Too, ma. You have a good one. I have another call on the line. Is that Chike?
Yes, Baigun.
How
It's
you doing,
Chike from
sir?
Edmonton, Canada.
That's Chike from
Good.
Canada.
How are you?
Don't ask me how did I know, but don't worry. I saw the name that was like, okay, that's Chike. I'm going to say it first before you say this is Chike. Right. How you doing,
Thank you
sir?
very much, Baigun. I'm doing great. How about you and the family?
I am very well. We thank God too. Thanks a lot for asking.
Nice. Michael, I just want to talk about David.
Please.
It's really unfortunate what has been happening to David, but I mean, are we really surprised? That guy has literally sacrificed himself, his freedom, his peace of mind for Nigeria, just to do investigative journalism, you know? And the reality is that David emerged and came to limelight because that man saw a gap that needed to be filled.
That's right.
You know, he emerged because of the incompetence of the Nigerian media. And of course, Michael, you know, I don't count you as Nigerian media. You're more of global media, you know. But you know, Nigerian media, they don't ask questions Many of them are in bed with politicians. They never speak truth to power.
Yeah.
Look at people like Ajuri. Look at people like Femi Adesina.
Mm-hmm.
Look at people like Ruben Abati. You know, look at what they did. I mean, when I was young, when my dad came back from work, I would always get his newspaper just because I wanted to see what Ruben Abati had to say.
His opinion.
But
you are right.
I was a fan. But then he worked for Goodluck Jonathan, and see what he did. He was just a disgrace. I mean, now he's cleaning his image now with the Rise News. That's okay. I mean, we can always give people a second chance, but you can never trust the Nigerian media. You know how it is in the UK, Michael. Journalists will ask politicians questions until they resign. They will ask and ask the same questions, and this is after doing tons of investigations.
That's right.
But when you think of investigative journalism in Nigeria, who comes to mind?
You are called the enemy.
Who comes
By
to
the way,
mind?
thank God we have David, but nobody comes to mind for
Right.
in Nigeria.
Nobody but David. And now see what they want to do to him. And it's nice that he's appealing to Ghana to do the right thing, not to send him back.
Mm-hmm.
At least for the record. And it's good that at least he can even appeal to Ghana. That's to show you that Ghana at least has some reputation, according to someone like David Hundeyin, who I know will not have put out that video flippantly. He would have done his research, so he knows what he's talking about. But right now, I mean, I'll tell him.
Like, what would David they do to him? Do they want to just keep him in a place? And then illegally, like they are doing to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu right now, lock him up, and that's the solution, right? So that they are now okay. They can do whatever they want now. I mean, I don't understand. Why would you secretly want to get somebody? Chike.
That's what they want to. That's what they want to do to David. They want to get him back because they know that as long as he's in that Ghana, he'll continue to expose them. They want to bring him back and guard him. And trust me, I mean, what they're doing to Nnamdi Kanu is what they want to do to him.
Exactly.
But I mean, yes. But what I'll say is, like,
we've caught him. Yeah, we've caught him. He's here. He's here.
Exactly. He's here. And right now he can't do. All of you that want David to keep talking, let's see what he's going to do while he's in there. But you know what? With all due respect to David, right now he's the least of Ghana's problem. And this is with all due respect to David. And the reason I'm saying this is because I don't know if you've heard, Ghana just filed for bankruptcy.
I know. They made it official because I read it in New York Times that Ghana is essentially bankrupt right now.
Yes. Yeah, they are bankrupt. So David Hundeyin is the least thing they'll be thinking about right now. So your advice to him to leave Africa, I think, is the best thing. Because right now, when countries are in
distress, right?
Hello?
I'm with you. Chicken.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay. Yeah, when people are in desperate situations, you know what they can do? They can go all out. And right now, Ghana is not thinking about David. They're just thinking about how to resolve their bankruptcy issues, and they will not mind giving David up. So your advice
to him, to give them something to help their economy for now.
Exactly.
Even if Nigeria is going through hell, it doesn't matter. Whatever Nigeria can offer, right? If David is going to be the bargaining chip, they will drop him without blinking.
Absolutely. They'll take it without blinking. Absolutely, Michael. I agree with you. So yes. So right now, I mean, let him appeal to as many other countries as he can. If it's Canada, let him appeal to Canada. He needs to get out of Africa. So that advice you gave him is the best, and he needs to stay alive and remain a free man.
Exactly.
And for all that he's been doing, Michael, I believe that history will be kind to that man. History will be kind to him.
Thank you so much, Chike. I believe that too. And then, he's such an asset that it will be a shame if anything should happen to David, that nobody actually comes through to get him and get him sorted. It will be a shame, but I don't want to think it.
It will be a shame. It will be a shame, but like these are politicians are shameless. But let's see what's going to happen. I believe he'll be okay. But I think we all need to actually amplify this and ensure that the Nigerian government doesn't take him.
I know.
Yes, Michael Baba, I heal. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much too. I mean, thanks for all those generosity too. And I see your hand for those super chat as well, right?
Not in the apple, Michael. Anytime.
Thanks, Baba. You have a good one, okay? So let
you
me
too, bro. Bye-bye.
take another one. That's Chike calling in from Canada. And it will be an honor, by the way, if David can just move to Canada. A lot of you there will make that place a home for him. I bet that. But yeah, hello.
Hi, brother Mayegun. This is Beatrice.
Oh, Lady Beatrice, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. How is your family?
We are very well, thank you, ma.
How are you? I pray for you. God will protect you and your family.
Amen, ma.
As you're fighting for the whole country, God will fight for you.
Amen. And you too. Thank you, ma. Please.
Thank you so much. I want to make just a few comments.
Please,
concerning what you're talking about today and what I have seen myself. First of all, concerning the journey of our president to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
We all know when Obama's place of birth was argued about, when the whole America were kind of shaped by whether Obama was an American, whether he this and that.
I know.
In order to make sure that the people were satisfied, Obama came up and produced everything about him.
He did.
And published it. That I was born in this country, or I am a citizen of the United States, and the rest of it.
And this was my dad, my mom, and this was my dad.
My
this
dad
is my story. And you can go talk to all of those people related to them. He didn't hire lawyers or PR to cover it up.
Nothing like that. It was made so simple.
Yes.
So on the grounds of that, I have been to the United States myself. I worked a little bit for them. Yes. I didn't. So the America should help Africa. America should help Africa. The fact that people are trooping out of Africa to the United States, to all parts of European countries, looking for a safe haven, is because of the leadership in Africa.
That's right.
And if America and all these leaders who are destroying Africa are not willing to address that issue, they should not bother the African young people who are looking for a better place to live. You are the one coming to suck their natural resources. You are the one bargaining with their leaders to make it life impossible for them. And then they are coming to your country to see how they can at least get a refugee status. Many of them have died passing through all this.
Because of that journey, you're right.
That journey. And those that succeeded, you make a fool of them. You put them in, what do you call that place? They put them...
Detention centers, ma. Deportation centers.
Deportation centers. I was watching a program. Why the West will not allow Africa, because they depend on Africa. Everything they are living on, everything they are working on, everything that has made them rich is coming from Africa. You can as well continue doing that, but allow the Africans to have take your knees out of their neck.
Exactly, a share of their own prosperity. And if they're not going to have that, and they won't have a chance of dealing with their corrupt leaders without the West backing them, then there's no point in stopping us from coming to these Western countries.
I did my master's thesis on migration when they did what do you call it, Brexit issue. It was a terrible thing. It nearly choked me. That's what I wrote on my
discoveries. Yeah.
I researched. So on one occasion, I was in the train, and we were discussing how Africans should go back to their country. I was so angry. I shouted at them. I said, "Will you shut up your mouth?"
As it should be.
I said, "Have you researched? Do you read your history? Without Africa, you are nothing."
Yeah, they are nothing. No.
Without Africa, you have nothing. Show me the gold from your land. Show me where the oil is coming from your land. You make life impossible for the African. You work with their leaders, and you still talk about Africa as if Africa is the worst country in the whole world.
You know, like we did all this to ourselves.
If America does not come out now to speak for us, to shamefully come out and say, this is what we've been doing, it's time to stop. They are not our friends. All these leaders, you can see the French president, he's almost shameful everywhere he is. You can see it on his face. Because you are living like a thief. You are living by stealing. And because you are a thief, and then the country you are stealing from have to go under their knees to beg from you to eat.
Honestly.
And then we should praise you for stealing everything from us.
We should be grateful to them. That's exactly
what we should be very grateful. We should crawl. My dear brother.
Sir, ma'am, sorry.
I don't know if you know Chris Anyanwu of NTA in those days.
I do know. I remember Chris. Yeah, I do.
Chris Anyanwu. She was a tough investigative journalist.
I do remember.
We came from the same place. You know what they did to her because of speaking truth to power? Thank God she survived it. They don't want journalists to survive in Africa. And even the journalists here, let me tell you, the journalists here, they are living on talking negative about Africa. You know what? I did a research and I asked, why is it that you are only talking about negative things? I lived in America. I saw a lot of dirtiness in America. Really? I saw people like killing
poverty
people.
Too.
Poverty. I saw little boys carrying guns. Even police would be there. Nothing would happen. And you don't see the stories on British BBC News. You don't see it anywhere. But if you see, they catch a small African boy selling drugs for an European dealer.
Yeah.
They will catch that African boy, then they will name his country.
Yes.
A Nigerian was caught. They will not name the dealer.
Yeah, but especially if the dealer is actually their own citizen. Yeah,
the dealer is their citizen. But that African boy is a refugee who is selling that drug to support himself. Exactly. So how long do we suffer this type of nonsense?
I think it will have to be the day we all agree to end it, or else
coming to the problem of the legitimacy of our presidency. Why should any president of this world be shaking hands with an illegitimate president?
A big question, ma'am.
Talking about certificates, that man, if it is proved that he forged this certificate, they have made nonsense of all of us who suffered to go to school.
Honestly.
They have made nonsense of every Nigerian who went to school. They have made nonsense of all of us who suffered to go to school. You see, so we cannot continue like this. It's not about him.
Thank you so much.
It is about the future. It's about the youth. It's about our country. And it must be addressed.
Well,
so keep talking truth to power. Yes, one day they will speak about it.
Eventually, ma. Thank you so much for all of that, ma. You have a good evening, ma. Okay.
You too.
That's a good one from Our Lady Beatrice on the beat. Thanks a lot. That was more or less like a mother speaking from the heart. Like, why? So many questions, but really no answer. Hello there.
Good evening, Mayigo. This is Emmanuel from London.
Hi there, Emmanuel.
I would just like to ask you a question that is relevant to Nigeria in particular and Africa as a whole. Okay. If we all believe in democracy, and I don't mean democracy in the Western style democracy, which is actually a crony capitalism masked as a democracy, okay, that is kind of spouting and trying to project itself as the higher authority for everyone to emulate.
Like the standard for us all, kind of.
Exactly, exactly. But my take is not to like denigrate them, but is to delve into what democracy really is, which comes from the will of the people, putting representative in the seat of power for the sake of for the sake of the populace, the entire populace. Now, I gave you this preamble just to come to the crook of my question, which is,
hopefully I'll grasp
I personally do not believe in monarchical democracy. And regardless of our history, which is important because our history is our identity, our language is our identity, our culture is our identity. However, if we want to go ahead as a people, whether in Nigeria, whether in a separated nation, or whether in a confederacy, we should think very deeply about what style of democracy do we want to live. Is it monarchical democracy, which is the rule of the local monarchs, which are the political obas, that will be working
the government of the kings at the head. So monarchical.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So my question is this: if we don't believe that anybody should be in the seat of power, which is not there by the majority consensus, which represent democracy, why is it that we should take issue with what Obasanjo has done? Are we taking issue with what Obasanjo has done based on cultural heritage of respecting the stool, or are we kind of still seeing in 2023 ourselves in a place or in a Nigeria where monarchs should still be the authority in what represents the democracy of Nigeria? I don't know whether my question was too convoluted.
Right, see, if I get you right, you are trying to ask a question along the democracy setting that we have in Nigeria today, which actually doesn't give any representation or role, particularly, let's say role, constitutional role to royal fathers, even though they still exist. Okay? So if I get you right, then it means if we look at the constitutional formation of what we call democracy in Nigeria today, the government, the president, which is the federal, the governor, and then all these other ones that are elected like properly, they have more constitutional power or role than the traditional rulers. But now going to what Obasanjo did, right, where we believe that he spoke to the royal fathers condescendingly. And your own question is about, this is 2023. We all know that the Yoruba, the Obas or the kings or royal fathers, what have you, they are only whatever the politician says they are. So they don't have that control. So you are wondering or asking, if we feel offended, culturally or traditionally, how Obasanjo spoke to the Obas, without looking into why Obasanjo spoke to the Obas like that, so we should begin to question what kind of democracy we want. Is it the one that these Obas are going to have a real constitutional rule? Everybody will call it constitutional democracy. Or did I get you right before I go too further? Did I get
no? You're absolutely getting it right.
So that comparison of how people reacted, even though everybody knows that democracy here, elective democracy, does not give any role to the royal father. So if we don't feel like a politician or a sort of a political office holder should talk down on the royal father, then we should probably question what kind of democracy do we want? Is it the one that our royal fathers still exist and play roles, or they shouldn't just exist and leave it for the elective right? If I get that right, go on.
Yes. Yes, you summarize it just as I meant it, but with just a little caveat, which is I said all this because regardless whether Nigeria was the beacon of hope for the black man and woman of the entire world, or regardless of what Nigeria is right now, I still do not believe that people that I do not decide to represent me in the seat of power, and therefore, by consequence, have the power to decide my fate and the fate or who is near and dear to me or who is my countryman.
Now, you know what I'm going to say to help that notion, okay? I'm going to make few explanation that should help, okay? It's not going to be outright answer to your question, okay? But it's going to help you to also understand wherever my answer leads to at the end of the day. But it's not really going to be a direct answer to your this, okay? You see, if Nigeria has a confederation, for example, whereby some autonomy are granted to the regions, all right? So that simply means the regions, right, they can decide the type of politics, okay, the form of government they want as well in that autonomy. So, for example, let's say in the western part of Nigeria, the autonomy gives the western region the autonomy to form their own government, make their own laws, tax their own people, and do their own thing, just like it was in the early 60s during independence, right? So the Yorubas can come together and say, we are going to, I'm just using an example now, right? Because around that time, we don't need anybody's approval or anything to do what we want to do. We've already gotten the autonomy. Now, inside that autonomy, we can now say, okay, we're going to have one unicameral house, okay? And we are also going to have elective positions for royal fathers. And the process of electing obas will also be very well defined in that statute book of the Western region. Sure, you get. Before you can be called an oba, how do you become an oba? It will all be well defined and all that. So when somebody appears and say, I am the oba of so-so area, so constitutionally, his role is defined. If he also, if he can also hold automatic representation or seats wherever a decision is being made about the whole region, okay? So that clear explanation will be there. In a way, we can do that. In Eastern Nigeria,
but Michael, I apologize just to cut you out there.
That's fine. Yeah.
I get your point. I get your point. And
really,
apologize.
Where I was actually going is that we can't force the whole Nigeria, right, to take up anything that will actually define the role of royal fathers. It's going to be forever. It can only happen where they have.
Go on. But Mayegu, sorry. Sorry.
It's okay. Go on. I'll let you speak.
If you are because if you are an oba and your son or daughter becomes a prince or a princess, you are there by descendancy. You are not there because I decide you to be there. And regardless of whatever style of governance you decide within a constitutional democracy, a monarchical stool is by descendancy. It's not by the choice of the people.
The same thing. Let me say this quickly, right? You know, it's still the same thing. When I said it will be stated in the statute book, it's just like saying you import what you call our culture and succession rules in these traditional stools, right? So all you have to do is to put it there. Anybody occupying that post, you know automatically, right, that they are representing these people. So if constitutionally it says they are, right? So when all of them meet, when all of us meet from every part of, for example, from that region, right, we are representing our people, okay? It gives that symbol of authority. But what I'm saying is that it can't be replicated or suggested across Nigeria. And when you mentioned confederation, I was like, that would be a good idea, where indeed Nigeria is still Nigeria, but everybody has their own autonomy from everywhere. They decide their fate on how they want to be governed. But you see the entire country as well. In that statute, all of us will still send people to discuss about the whole country. Sure, you get at a house. Sure. When it comes to how do we decide what happened to us, right? That can be decided regionally with autonomous, what have you, reduce tension at the center, okay? And defining those roles, all right? Start from writing it as law. not suggestion, not something that we say, well, that's how it should be. If it's not really written, right? Somebody, some madman can come tomorrow and just infuse something like they do in Nigeria. But that would be my own kind of way of establishing the role of royal fathers. If there will be any, it will be better in a confederation.
But Mayego, do you personally believe that in a democracy there should still be people on the that are part of the decision maker of a nation, regardless whether it's Nigeria, whether it's Uganda, that are monarchical in nature, and they are not there because they are chosen by you, but they have authority over you simply because of descendancy from a monarchical stool that gives regard to heritage and culture in a democracy of 2023. Do you like believe that? No, and is a question for you now.
Right, that believing that a monarchical or a monarchy or a king in a democratic or monarchical democracy, whatever name is given to it, will have an authority over me. That's the same thing I'm saying, that it doesn't really matter who will have that authority, as long as it is stated in an edict or what in a statute book. Let's use United Kingdom as an example, right? You know, the queen or the king is the head of government in this country. Well, it doesn't run the country. You know that?
No, I don't believe that. I beg you, no, please don't let us don't let us go there.
No, you may talk about influence. See, if we want to talk, see, if you and I want to talk now, let's use facts for those who are listening. I don't want to use projections, okay? I don't want to use things like.
No, I will give you my counterparts. Absolutely.
You know, structurally, there is a government in the UK. You know that, and the head of that government is the king or the queen, but it doesn't run the country. Okay, there is a house.
Well, that's the propaganda that they sell to us.
Sorry?
That's the propaganda that they sell to us.
You're not playing along now. I don't want to use conspiracy. I live in the UK.
No,
the queen or the king doesn't run the country.
Sure.
Listen, the king or the queen doesn't run the country. There's a government in the UK. Okay? There's an elective post and all of that. But the acknowledgement given to the queen or the king is that they give their emblem to whatever decision is taken by the politicians. Now, you influencing it that, okay, don't go that way or go this way. That's normal. But structurally in the UK, there is a monarchy. But the monarchy doesn't run the UK. So we can have the same thing right there if that's what we think will work for us. Okay? Head of government can still be that monarchy. All right? And then there will be structure that actually runs the country. You see, what runs the country? What runs the country is the government. If you go to Burma, in Burma, they have a king, like we have in the UK. But they also have a government in Burma. Yeah. So what they do is that whenever the politicians do all their thing, for their government to be effective in that country, the king will put his blessing on it. It's just ceremonial. So we can have the same thing, whereby our kings or what have you are really influential. But it must be the law that all of us, you and I, can say, okay, if the king changed this, or if the queen changed that, the politicians of the country, the government, they have to go that route. But it must be stated. Do you understand what I'm trying to get at?
Yes.
Now? Yeah? It has to be something that all of us have to agree. You know, me and you won't have to change.
Yeah, can I just give...
Yeah, go on, sorry.
Can I just give you just one last point, and I don't want to take more of your time. I just want to counter slightly, without being argumentative, on what you just said. In the last 20 years, maybe nobody knows, but in the last 20 years, before you could be part of the House of Lords, you could just be part of the House of Lords, okay? The ones that accept or reject draft of laws from the House of Commons, okay, called the House of Commons. Yeah. You could only be part of the House of Lords if you were by blood, or if you were, related to the monarchy. So there is so just to put it in parallel for everyone to understand, you could simply become a senator in Nigeria if you were the cousin of the president, just to put it in parallel in a very hypothetical world. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And those are the ones that they don't draft the law, but they reject the law if they don't like it, and you go and rewrite it as a commoner, part of the House of Commons, which are the representatives that we vote for. But let us leave that aside. I believe, and I get your point. I get your point that in Nigeria, if we believe in a democracy and we still want to drag these monarchs that are voted by nobody, but that they might probably have authoritative power in Nigeria.
You get, because
it has to be written. No, I get you. Yes, obviously.
Yeah, because it
but
was the same style. They use the same style to kind of bury them. We all know how it all started. For us in Yoruba land, for example, right, when politics of independence was kind of cooking up, kings were running for office. Kings, I'm talking about traditional rulers in Yoruba land. They were running for political offices. They were sitting at the parliament in Ibadan. Royal fathers, elected, even though they have already been king, they ran for office. And you know what I mean? Like, because they were allowed to participate. But immediately after the military, in order not to share their power with anybody, what did they do? They decided to go and put them under the local government. They used law to push them to that stage. And since then, they've never come out of it. So it's the same thing. If people decide that this is what we want now, right? Trust me, they can be put in a position that all of us will have to kind of follow it too. But a working system that all of us can say, okay, yeah, you know what I mean? Like defined rules.
What the rule of law is actually abided by.
Yeah, But thank you so much anyway for having that kind of point of view with me. A lot of people probably sat there and they're like, okay, some agree with you, some agree with me, but the point is that we've all learned one or two things out of that. So thank you.
Definitely. Thank you very much for what you're doing.
A good one, okay? Appreciate that.
You too.
So we are coming closer and closer to the end of the chart, but the line is still very much open. I have another caller, by the way. Hello there.
Hello, my Geo.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. This is Zoop. Yes, sir.
I get it.
Okay. How is your family, Maegu? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Maegu, I want to take us real quick about the global situation and what is going on in Nigeria at the moment. Remember when Nigeria got thrown?
Let's go.
Remember when Nigeria got thrown out of the BRICS?
Say that again.
Yeah, the BRICS, BRICS.
Oh yeah, got kicked out, got rejected rather.
Got rejected, thrown. Even the VP he flew over there.
He was
in South
Russia,
Africa,
yes.
and still. Yeah, and they didn't even listen to him. So if you look at it, the global economy is trying to change, and Russia, India, and China are trying to see how they're going to bring. Yeah, they're trying to see how they're going to change American imperialism in the global stage, as the dollar being the standard of how business is being done. So right now, the BRICS, they have like 40% of the world population and 25% of the global GDP. So they're like a powerhouse, and they're trying to build a development bank, and that's where Nigeria got their interest. So they're trying to see how they're gonna go there and see if they can get some money out of it. But if you look at the global situation, you have the IMF and you have the World Bank.
Yes.
Nigeria cannot confidently stand up against the West because Nigeria is indebted to them. So if you see what USA is trying to do is, if China, Russia, and all these other BRICS countries are trying to take over, reduce the dollar and take another foreign currency as the exchange powerhouse of the world, who are they going to hold it to ransom? It's Nigeria. Because Nigeria have a weak economy. Nigeria have a weak economy, a weak political standard, that we have one of the most corrupt politicians across all Africa. So with the kind of money they've been stealing, that is why the BRICS rejected them. Because they accepted Ethiopia.
Can you imagine? Bringing something to the table, right? Everybody, Brazil said, we're coming with this social size of economy. This one is saying, and we have a projection that in so time, we're going to be this size. India is coming with one. China is there. Russia is there. Other smaller countries that are also joining are bringing things to the table. Nigeria was coming to the table with a bowl. Help us.
Yes.
Please. Like, what is this? We are trying to put resources together and lift our countries out of this. You are coming here begging. My friend, get out of here. That's the problem.
Exactly what happened. So now USA have to rely on the weak Nigeria. The weak Nigeria. USA have to rely on the weak Nigeria by bringing in a puppet. So we've been denied by BRICS. For me, it's kind of an irony, kind of.
So we're going to remain in the house of the West, IMF, World Bank, and all of them.
Yeah, so we are beggars to them, and that is one thing I want to say. Then my final note is that on the Honduran issue,
yes,
Nigerian press is being bought over. We don't have free press in Nigeria. Almost all the media houses in Nigeria is being owned by one politician or the other. You know, hitting the drum, and the press people are dancing to it.
I know.
You know, confusing the populace. So all I'm saying about the Honduran, you gave him a good advice, but I'm asking our listeners, please, if there's any way you can support him by subscribing to his stuff and maybe putting some money in it. And I overheard him saying something like that. Nigerians don't subscribe, and they're not paying subscribers to him.
You know,
yeah, it mustn't be when
much for him to ever have to come to public and say, I use my personal fund for most of these things. And not that I'm complaining or so, but a lot of Nigerians don't even like appreciate it. And that's sad.
Yeah.
For somebody like you.
Even you, my good, like all the people standing for us, we should actually support them, you know, somehow. Every Nigerian standing for us is they're like swimming against the wind,
you know.
So we should kind of support them. So it's not only when they have been captured or something happened to them that we show our support, like Mobad and all those people.
And we begin to do hashtag free this, free that.
Yeah, Mobad and this and all that. So now that they are still alive, we can support them. My God, that's where I end my talk today. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much as well for stopping by as usual, right? You have a good one. That says Zeus on the beat. I am going to take just one more call. Now, listen, if you have my, my direct number, don't think you can call that my direct number when I'm on the show. It's not connected to the show. So I think I have somebody who is calling me directly and I don't even have your number. I don't have your name. So I advise you should not waste your time. The phone is not connected to the studio, so there's no point in calling it. What's the point? Hello there. Hang on. I think I have a caller. I had a caller. It's dropped off. So let me take another one. That will be my last call for tonight. Okay. Here we go. Hello there.
Hey, Maye Gumaba.
Yes, sir.
Maye Gumaba.
Baba.
I just make a try on now. So come like that.
So there's always a first time, Baba. That's so you go try them and you go just enter. Yeah. If you don't try, you don't know. Sure you get. Thanks for not giving up.
Yes, so you've been doing great. Though I've been following you since 2018 now, but it's been a while. I've watched your program. So connecting back to last. Okay. Yes. I'm really glad. Yes. You see, the last caller was talking about appreciating people. You know, that's one thing about Nigerians. We don't appreciate people that are doing great. You know, it's so funny that David Udein, because I was in Nigeria last year, and they are not really. People don't even know him. You know, even the report that was written by
much like we do.
Yeah,
is that what you mean?
What he's doing. Yeah, they don't really appreciate him. Unlike the celebrity, you know, on the people unlike people that are singing, people like Naira Marley and all those, you know. So they don't really appreciate because I was watching Shem Kuti. I wish you can bring Shem Kuti to your program. He was talking about cultism and people like encouraging bad way of life. They are not allowing people to see the other way of life. I mean the leaders in Nigeria. They believe that you have to be corrupt, you have to be in a court before you make it, and that's why most of the youth in Nigeria, their brain, their mindset is not right. So they don't really value or appreciate people that are doing great things. You know, they always like that shortcut of a thing. So
wasting time. Long story about leave that thing like all that, you know.
Yes.
Yes, which is very bad. But thank God that the Peter Obi, the obedient movement is, I think, has really tried in terms of raising the consciousness of the people. You know, unlike before. Now they can know what is going on in the court. They know that there's no judiciary system in Nigeria now. Some of them that did not believe before, when we were telling them, now they know. Like like Showore we say, we are in, some of us are in 2032, some people are still in 2023. We already know what is going on.
So therefore there's so much missing gap, and
yes,
catch up, man. God damn
it. Yes, because they are distracted with a lot of things, you know. They are distracted with entertainment and you know, different things.
Fortunately, Baba. Well, we have to give it, like you said, we have to give it to the obedient who have remained consistent. People hate, a lot of these guys hate them for being like they're not giving up. I give up now. It don't do now.
I voted for AAC in the last election. You get it, but I can see that the obedient movement, there are more people there. So
like it's so obvious.
There are more.
It is so obvious. That people who
we
know
have to
them,
keep the fire burning.
People who know them, they should tell themselves the truth. These are young Nigerians who are done, who are frustrated, they are tired, they exist. And if you have a chance of challenging the system, it's just that Peter Obi happened to be the beneficiary. It could have been anybody.
It could have been anybody.
It could have been anybody. You know, so the fact that
I was telling continue. Okay, I was telling someone that Peter Obi, that APC is even lucky to have Peter Obi as the people the youth are following. That if they have Showore, if Showore have that massive support, by now they will have been running a skater, because he will not wait for them to. All those ones that Peter Obi is saying that we go to court. The youth to be burning like anything.
If they do that election, let us all tell ourselves this truth for goodness sake, okay? If to say now Showore they can rig to third, and there is evidence that they rigged him, Baba, there will be no swearing in. Don't let us lie to ourselves. That Showore look at his work, and he sees 10 million people voted for him. They changed his number, and he have the evidence. Or they should be thankful that it is Obi. You are right. And Obi is one of them. He knows what it's going to be like if they shut Nigeria down and all their businesses and all their money, everything. He knows what that means. So would rather everybody calm down. But Showore no get billions that he is going to protect from anywhere. You know?
Yes, exactly.
They should be thankful. You are right. I never thought of that.
They should be thankful.
I never thought of that. You know?
They should be thankful.
They should be thankful.
So So now that they have APC is going to give them, like, it's going to make the youth more conscious, because the way the economy is going now, you know, it's going down. So they have to be awake now by force. Either they like it or not, they will be. So that is what I have to say.
God bless you, Baba. Thanks for not giving up and trying to call in tonight. Okay, you have a good one. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Cheers, sir.
Yeah, bye.
Now that's for tonight, and I want to say thank you to all of you. I'm sorry if I didn't mention your super chat too, but thank you. At least everything is right there on the screen, so I'm going to say thank you to all of you at the same time. If you are watching me still on YouTube or Facebook, remember, just like the video before you go. You know, that's us now. And if you joined us at midway, also, you can watch this broadcast from the start. Or you wait till tomorrow when I actually have to show you the replay before the next one. Tomorrow is also the day we are probably going to receive the first batch of Tinubu's record. The record of a Miss Bola A. Tinubu. Now tomorrow we're going to get out. So you don't want to miss that, would you? Want to miss that? Nah. Thank you, everybody. I will see you some other time. Stay safe and good night.
Maye dodo. Mayegun diary, na him be number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ láwọn tó jódodo. Mayegun diary, na him be number one. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun diary, na him be number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary, na him be number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, na him be number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, na him be number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary, na him be number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, na him be number one. Mayegun diary, diary politico. Mayegun diary, na him be number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary, na him be number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary, na him be number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, na him be number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń gbà rìbá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Ayé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n
ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.